G'day guys, how we going? As promised, here we go with the projections for WDL Brave New World. The only thing I've done different for those of you that are in Rip and Time Fallen Kingdom but aren't in uh, what do we got? New Beginning, Endgame, and yeah, that's it actually. Um, I put up the starters, the points from two extra offensive and two extra defensive players, um, just to expose some depth. Nothing else. Anyway, first off the bat is my team, the Master of Puppets. This is a complete rebuild team. The offense needs complete retooling, so I'm not going to spend too much time here. Jacoby Brissett, Caleb Williams as my quarterbacks. Khalil Herbert, Ty Spears, running backs. Greg Dortch, Jaden Reed, Tyquan Thornton, Mike Williams, and Olamide Zacchaeus as wide receivers. David Njoku at tight end. It's not a good offense. I've got some parts I might be able to use from from off my taxi squad if I start winning some games, but it's just not worth it right now. Grover Stewart at DT. Defensive ends are strong with Nick Bosa, Jonathan Grenard, and Micah Parsons. Roquan, starting linebacker. Paulson Adebo, Jamel Dean, Byron Murphy, and Tyreek Stevenson at CB. And safeties, we got Jabril Peppers, Taylor Rapp, Jimmy Ward, Antoine Winfield. Still a strong defense there. Just the offense just isn't any good. Offense 103.17, defense 208.57 for a 311.74 overall grade. Back for more. Steve Peters. All right. Lamar and Matthew Stafford as your starting quarterbacks. Pretty strong there. Zamir White, potentially J.K. Dobbins as a fill in at running back. Brandon Ayuk, AJ Brown, T. Higgins, CeeDee Lamb, and Khalil Shakir as your main wide receivers. And Jake Ferguson and Trey McBride as your top tight ends. Defensively, pretty strong group of defensive tackles between Kalijah Cansey, Jeffrey Simmons, Kobe Turner, and Leonard Williams. Defensive end, probably three main guys there with Josh Hines Allen, Jalen Phillips, especially once he starts to get healthier later in the season, and George Karloftis. Linebackers, Tyrell Dodson, TJ Edwards, Logan Wilson project as your main contributors. Cornerbacks, Derek Stingley Jr. and Roger McCreary. Projector starters, Reed Blankenship, Jeremy Chin, Cameron Curl, Brandon Jones, Jordan Whitehead, and Brian Cook could provide depth as well as Joey Brown. Offensively, 169.73. Defensively, 191.56 for an overall grade of 361.29. Should have mentioned before, I'm not running the face cam today. It's too bright inside the room, so it's just not worth it. No camera today. And my youngest daughter decides she wanted to give a part. She likes to be the star of the show. We did a podcast for one of our other leagues the other day, and I think she spent about 20 minutes on the camera, so. All right. Iron Maiden, Mike Matheny, Justin Herbert, Brock Purdy as your starting quarterbacks. Russell Wilson potentially a backup. Depends on what happens, I guess. Devin Aitchen, Aaron Jones, Jonathan Taylor, all good solid running backs or strong running backs. Depends on which of the ones you want to talk about there. Wide receiver, you got Brandon Cooks, Tank Dell, Chris Godwin, Tyreek Hill, maybe Jerry Jeudy, Chris Olave, George Pickens. So pretty good, strong depth at wide receiver. And tight end, Kyle Pitts, Chiga Conquo, Hunter Henry, Kylan Granson even. So you got depth at tight end, plenty of depth across offense. So defensively, what have we got here? So DeForest Buckner grades out as your starter at DT. Would do on pretty much every team in the league. Sorry, need a drink. Carl Granderson, Josh Sweat, Kayvon Thibodeau as your defensive ends probably. Caden Ellis, EJ Speed, Kaiser White, Perryman, Jermaine Edmonds, Blake Cashman all could provide depth at linebacker. CBs, Trent McDuffie and Jalen Ramsey, Kyler Gordon, Kendall Fuller even. All pretty deep at corner, but I mean, corners are corners. They're a bit more valuable in this league than what they are in the newer ones. I deliberately tried to eradicate the position in the new league, so sorry for people that like corners. Von Bell, Rayshawn Jenkins, Tyron Matthew, probably, and Jalen Thompson, probably your main starters or main contributors at safety. Offensively, overall, 175.35 and 199.84 on defense for a 375.19 grade overall. Motley Crew. Now, this one, Steve Hefner. All right. Quarterbacks, we got Jared Goff and Jalen Hurts. Come on.
What?
Running backs, I've got Najee Harris, Christian McCaffrey, Raheem Mostert, and Bijan Robinson. With probably Jerome Ford as a potential contributor as well. And Javonte Williams, if he can stay healthy. Wide receivers, DeAndre Hopkins, Cooper Kupp, Xavier Worthy. Actually, that's probably most. You haven't got a lot of depth at wide receiver there at all. Tight end, TJ Hawkinson will be once he's actually back and healthy, but until that point, it's probably a position of a bit of a struggle for you, actually. Yeah. Back again. Sorry, guys. Had to dispose of my 7-year-old daughter. She wanted to give me a hand with the podcast again. Whilst it might be funny when the camera's running and she's in the background dancing, it's not so funny when you can't even see her. So, all right. What do we got? Defensive tackle. Starter grades out as Jalen Carter, BJ Hill, Harrison Phillips. All pretty solid at the position too. Defensive ends. Not much depth. It's pretty much Harold Landry, Lucas Van Ness with whatever he does with the limited amount of snaps he generally gets. AJ Panessa sort of feels he probably gets some more snaps, but kind of falls into the same sort of category. Linebacker Devondre Campbell should be pretty solid this year. I thought if Junior Colson could have, if he was definitely starting, it would have been a pretty solid option, but that doesn't look like it's the case. Frankie Louver is generally a pretty solid contributor, and Robert Spillane was really good last year. Cornerbacks, Terran Arnold, Christian Gonzalez, Teron Johnson, and L'Jarius Sneed, all really good corners. And safeties, CJ Gardner-Johnson's generally a pretty good scorer. He was hopeless yesterday. Talanoa Funga, still recovering from injury, but he should be pretty solid this year. Julian Love, Trayvon Murray's all right. What do we got? Overall on offense, 165.76. Defense, 200.49. And a 366.25 overall grade. Lightning to the Nations. Sean Smollins. Trevor Lawrence and Baker Mayfield actually graded as his starters, although I've got a feeling Aaron Rodgers probably starts over Mayfield. Running backs, Kyron Williams, Brian Robinson should be a contributor, or one of the two Washington running backs, either him or Eckler, should contribute for him this season. Keenan Allen, Nico Collins, Jacoby Myers, Michael Pittman, Devontae Smith, Jalen Waddle, probably your pickier wide receivers. There is a little bit more depth in behind it, but they're the main ones you'll be relying on. Travis Kelce at tight end will be your main tight end that you're worried about too. Tyler Conklin should provide depth there as well. Defensive tackle, Cameron Haywood, Chris Jones, both exceptional. Defensive ends, Trey Anderson, Alex Highsmith, Montez Sweat is a very nice triplet. Linebackers, Kenneth Murray, Quincy Williams, probably your main contributors at linebacker. Corners, Trayvon Diggs, Martin Emerson, and Benjamin St. Just. Darius Williams, Tariq Woolen should all be pretty solid contributors. Williams did head to IR though, so it looks like he's going to miss a bit of the season. Safeties, I think Quandre Diggs, DeMar Hamlin looks like he's going to start. If he starts, he's going to be he's going to produce points. Devon Holland, Jordan Howden, Kirby Joseph, all should be pretty solid. Offensive points overall 166.94. Defensively 202.39 and 369.33 overall points. All right. Spirits Metal Gods. Quarterback Jordan Love and Tua Tagovailoa, with Justin Fields as your potential backup if he plays. And Jordan Love, he might have dodged the bullet there. He looks like he's only going to miss about between 3 to 6 weeks, I think they're saying. So it could have been much, much, much worse, especially if you saw the way the knee popped on that tackle. It could easily have been an ACL as well. So running backs, Rico Dowdle, Travis Etienne, Alvin Kamara, probably your main contributors there. Wide receivers, Tyler Boyd, Drake London, Deebo Samuel, Adam Thielen, probably your best wide receivers. Pat Freiermuth would be your top tight end. Defensively, Jonathan Allen's probably your number one DT. Defensive end wise, we got Dorrance Armstrong, Jadeveon Clowney, Max Crosby, Bryce Huff, Cameron Jordan maybe, if there's anything left in the tank. Linebackers, Divine Diablo, Zoe Franklin, Demario Davis. Yeah, they're probably your three linebackers, and they're probably all should be solid contributors. CBs, Dax Hill grades out as one of your highest ones. I don't even know if he's starting or not. So we'll know more after this week. We'll get a bit more of an idea of what the snap counts look like and stuff. Delmar Lenore. Kamari Lassiter should be productive if he's on the field. Donde Banks will be too. He'll see plenty of action thrown his way. Safeties, you got Brian Branch, Deshaun Elliott, Jordan Poyer probably is your main contributors at safety. 143.82 on offense overall and 198.31 defensively overall for a 342.13 grade. Holy Diver, which I think is Perry's team off the top of my head. All right. Quarterbacks, Joe Burrow and Derek Carr. And that's about it. No running backs, which I'm pretty sure Perry doesn't own a running back in a single one of the leagues. So that's some severe commitment. Wide receivers, you got Devontae Adams, Jordan Addison, Curtis Samuel, Gabriel Davis could contribute, Rashid Shaheed, Amon-Ra St. Brown, Christian Watson, and tight ends, Evan Ingram, Sam Laporta, with Tyler Higbee if he comes back later in the year. John Johnson could be too. Cade Otton as well. Defensively, Derek Brown, Javon Hargraves, your main ones. Osa Odigizua could be productive for Dallas this year too. Defensive ends, Danielle Hunter, Jermaine Johnson, probably your best, pretty easily your best two defensive ends, I think. Yeah, Quiddy Pay might provide some depth. Linebacker, Aziz Al-Shair, Nick Bolton. KJ Britt could be productive this year. Ernest Jones. Jermaine Pratt could provide some depth as well. Matt Milano might if he comes back. I don't think he's slated to miss the whole season, but see how that goes. Then you got Mike Hilton, Nate Hobbs, DJ Reed, Alontae Taylor at corner. Safeties, Derwin James, Josh Metellus, Jason Pinnock, and Donovan Wilson. Offensively, grades out at 158.56. Defensively, 219.31 for a 377.87 overall grade. Appetite for destruction. Steve Stearns, this one is. All right. Daniel Jones, Will Levis, Anthony Richardson at quarterback. So 3 starters at least. So see how that goes for you. Breece Hall, Josh Jacobs, Jalen Warren, Rashad White at running back. Wideouts, Hollywood Brown, Jamar Chase. God, I'm fucking over Jamar Chase. Garrett Wilson, Michael Wilson as your wideouts. And tight end, Dalton Kincaid. Defensively, defensive tackle, we got Justin or Namdi Matabike, or I think it's Namdi now that we've changed our name. Then I think John Franklin Myers, if he gets snaps, it will be productive in Denver too. So Dexter Lawrence is always promising something. I didn't see what Devontae White did in yesterday's game. No idea. I didn't get to watch the game properly, so. Defensive ends, Myles Garrett, Rashawn Gary, Khalil Mack, Byron Young, possibly Chase Young, all provide a pretty good rotation there. Linebackers, Devin Lloyd, Fred Warner, probably your main ones. If Troy Anderson's got the job, he could be productive. Domain Clark just hasn't done it for mine in Dallas. He's never been overly productive. Corners, Keyshawn Nixon and Zion McCallum are literally your only 2 corners, so I guess it's those 2. And Marquise Bell, yeah. Excellent. I've got a feeling. Yeah, those numbers need to be pushed up one. The numbers on Bell are actually Nixon's and McCollum's is the 12.5. So yeah, it's not a big deal. That's easy fixed. The scores are right. It's just sitting in the wrong place. Grant Tilpit, Kyle Duggar, Elijah Gilman, Kyle Hamilton, Xavier McKinney, Fiatu Malafamu, all a very strong safety room. So offensive score overall 157.77 for 210.39 for defense for a 368.16 overall score. Petra, which is Mike Gold's team. Couldn't ask for a better quarterback room. Josh Allen, Patrick Mahomes, and Geno Smith. Running backs, Derrick Henry, Ramondre Stevenson, with Zeke, and probably Devin Singletary providing some depth. Running back, wide receivers, Amari Cooper, Stephon Diggs, Romeo Dobbs, Deontay Johnson, Christian Kirk, Tyler Lockett, DJ Moore. Josh Reynolds could provide some depth in Denver. Someone's got to catch balls out there, so it won't be just Sutton. And tight ends, George Kittle with Noah Fant probably providing the most depth there. Defensively, Quentin Williams at defensive tackle. Defensive ends, Sam Hubbard, Matt Judon, Shannon Nwosu when he gets back will help, as will Malcolm Kuntz, who's literally just gone to IR as well. Leonard Floyd will provide some depth as well. Linebackers, Jerome Baker, Terrell Bernard, Isaiah McDuffie, Foyle Ilcon. That's probably the guts of what you'll use. CBs, Marshall and Lattimore, Greg Newsom will give some depth, Cam Taylor-Britt and Devin Witherspoon. And safeties, Julian Blackman, Cameron Bynum, Justin Reed, Marcus Williams. Jordan Battle might provide some depth if he can get on the field. He's generally scores pretty well when he's out there. He just isn't getting the snaps at the moment. So, and with him bringing in Geno Stone, I don't know if that helps. 168.41 on offense overall, 209.31 on defense overall, and overall score 377.72. Dystopians, Jared Rainsford. All right. He's got Kyler and Dak Prescott as his starters. James Conner, Gus Edwards maybe, Joe Mixon at running back, probably main contributors. Oh, and Isaiah Pacheco. Sorry, I missed him. Wide receivers, Zay Flowers, Josh Palmer, Calvin Ridley. That's probably it. And Dawson Knox possibly as your starting tight end. He will be because you don't have anything else. I need a drink. Defensive tackles, Deron Payne. Ed Oliver provides depth as well. Christian Wilkins there too. Defensive ends, Darth Elway, Andrew Van Ginkel, and TJ Watt. Linebackers, Alex Anzalone, Jordan Hicks, Patrick Queen, Bobby Wagner, Quay Walker, Devin White will be your main starters. Corners, Chadavia Wuzier, Razel Douglas, Javarius Ward, probably your main starters there. And safety, Kevin Byard, Minka Fitzpatrick, and Jalen Petrie, Jordan Fuller probably too. So they'd be your main starters at safety. 145.11 on offense and 210.41 on defense for a 355.52 overall score. All right, 2 more teams to go. Rose Tattoo. This would be Kelvin. Offense, we've got Drew Kirk Cousins, if Kenny Pickett or Drew Lock are playing for you, you're in a pretty bad place. Bryce Young, also at quarterback. Running back, Saquon Barkley, who just had a monster game yesterday. Dave Montgomery, Tony Pollard, Kenneth Walker, probably your main starters there. Wide receivers, Demario Douglas, Josh Downs, Mike Evans, Justin Jefferson, Terry McLaurin. Darnell Mooney could be a contributor. Puka Nakua. Cortland Sutton. And tight end, Dallas Goddard or Cole Kmet. Isaiah Likely and Johnny Smith. Likely had a massive first game. It'll be interesting to see if that's an outlier. There was a lot of coverage on Mark Andrews that I've seen clips of since the game on the opener that was on Friday here, Thursday in the US. I wouldn't be giving up on Andrews yet. The Chiefs pretty much game planned him out of the game, so there was that many double and triple coverages on him. It was pretty much up to Lamar to find somebody else, and Likely was the one that stepped up. Kenny Clark at DT, probably a main one. Joey Bosa, Brian Burns, Gregory Rousseau, Dallas Turner could be a contributor this year. Hard to say. Of the first round defensive ends, he was the one that was probably slated to take a little longer to adjust to the NFL. Linebackers, Jordan Brooks, Lavonte David, Jeremiah Wusu-Koramoah, Alex Singleton, Shaq Thompson should be all fairly good starters for you. CBs, Darius Slay, Brandon Stevens. And safeties, Buda Baker, Jesse Bates, Chuck Clark, Amani Hooker, Justin Simmons, and Harrison Smith all should be pretty solid. Offensive score overall, 163.15. Defense, 200.91 points. And overall score of 364.06. Last team, Led Zeppelin, David Armsworth. Quarterbacks, he's got 3 starters there. Jaden Daniels, CJ Stroud, Deshaun Watson. Running backs, James Cook, Jahmyr Gibbs. Zach Moss should be a contributor at least. DeAndre Swift as well. Wide receivers, Marvin Harrison Jr., DK Metcalf, Rashee Rice. Wandale maybe. And then tight end, Mark Andrews and Dalton Schultz. On defense, what do you got there? Zach Sealer is your main defensive tackle. Rookie Braden Fisk could be a contributor too. Defensive ends, Aiden Hutchinson, Anthony Jennings should have a solid season. Jared Verse, Trayvon Walker. Linebackers, Eric Kendricks, CJ Mosley, Bobby Okereke. Drew Tranquil's okay. It's probably the main ones. CBs, JC Horn. I think Max Melton might be a productive rookie corner. Nate Wiggins could be as well. Asante Samuel's solid. And at safety, Marcus Epps is okay. Juan Thornhill, Xavier Woods. It's not a strong safety room at all, actually. All right. Offensively, 154.96. Defense, 183.46. And overall, 338.42. All right. So, here's the overall standings. I'll blow it up a bit so everyone can see it a bit easier if you're watching. All right. So Perry's team grades out marginally better than Mike Gold overall. We'll say that most of the teams down to probably about where Dystopians is the cut-off. Most of the teams grade out very close together. There's not much in those top, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 teams. Not like grading wise, there's not a lot between them. I think the bottom 3 probably are the bottom 3. But I mean, we'll see how things go. Obviously, this is only some idiot's opinions that I've compiled together, so there's nothing to say there, right? For the most part, so far this week, they haven't been. So, that's all I got, guys. All I can say is, sorry I didn't get this out a little bit quicker. It was not my plan to leave it till this point, but just didn't have a chance to do it at any other stage. And good luck to the season. Thanks for being in the league, guys. All right. Thank you, and talk to you later.